Tonight's program, I've been asked to speak in both Farsi and in English. My Farsi is not that great, but bear with me for our Farsi-speaking friends as we get through this evening. On behalf of the Sahihi, the Tawfiq, and the Zahiri family, we welcome you. Thank you for being here today. Our beloved Faya, as we all know her, as you all called her, Faya Joon lived a life of 99 years. She lived with love, grace, and strength. Let's honor her tonight. Let's honor her memory. But something that I have to tell you, and I want to share with you all, اینجا شما فارسی میگم، یه چیزی میخواستم براتون بگم. من نزدیک این 25 سال پیش, for 25 years now, well, this is going to be tougher going back and forth. For 25 years, Faya Joon has always said to me, on my memorial, when you talk, I don't want you to wear black. She always told me, Payon, don't wear black. And for all of you that know her, you never saw her in black. My aunties are sitting in front of me. I remember once very clearly, my mom and Susan Joon and Yossi Joon, coincidentally, they were going out somewhere and they all had black on. And they got in trouble by their mom. No, she didn't want it. And she was very, very specific to me about that. And reminded me over and over, من دوست ندارم برای جلسه من مشکی بپوشید. گفتم چشم. So friends, forgive me tonight. Faya Joon's favorite color was pink, as you see it. Many of you Many of you, as you see, loved her because she always wore white and pink and all these bright colors. So Faya Joon, I know you're listening. I'm up here and I'm not wearing black. Tonight's gathering should be a joyful reflection. It should be a reflection of love. It should be a reflection of respect. Later on, we are going to talk about her, in her eulogy, we'll talk about her history and what she's done. This woman was amazing because remember, she had three. Faya Joon had 3 daughters. 3 became 6. I'm one of the 6. 6 became 12. We're on our way to make 24. All right? So, 3 تا شد 6 تا بعد شد 12 تا ایشالله بشه 24 تا. So, I know our wives, ما خانومامون و عروسامون نتونستن بیان. فقط همشون هی زنگ زدن و گفتن, and even Omid and Avid's wives let me know, okay, please mention how dear she was to us and how Shuwei Faya Joon loved us, took us in her family, and just loved us from day one. And I think that's very important when somebody marries into our family, to feel so loved and accepted. It's funny to think that she was a year shy of a century. We'll talk later about her life and her history and the things she had done. But tonight, during my part, I want to tell you about the calls that have come in. My aunties might not know this, but I was paying attention. I was paying attention to the calls that were coming in, and I wrote it down. Australia, Brazil, Ireland, Germany, Austria, Kenya, South Africa, New Zealand, Iran, Turkey. These were the calls that came in for Grandma. And they all said, it's funny, some of them said, is there any way you can just send us a live Zoom video of the program? I thought that really meant a lot. The word I'm supposed to use in Farsi is bozordosht, inshallah, which translates as celebration of life. Let's celebrate her life tonight. She was a devout Baha'i, and all of you know that. This woman was so devout in her faith, and this is something that was very, very important to her, to help remind me that when I speak about her, that her faith was very important. So friends, we will start off with some prayers to remember her, but later on we'll come back and talk more about her in a more happy and more loving way. But let's remember her now, and we'll start with some prayers.
O thou provider, O thou forgiver, a noble soul hath ascended unto the kingdom of reality and hastened from the mortal world of dust to the realm of everlasting glory. Exalt the station of this sanctity, arrived guest, and attire this long-standing servant with a new and wondrous robe. O thou peerless Lord, grant thy forgiveness and tender care, so that this soul may be admitted into the retreats of thy mysteries and may become an intimate companion in the assemblage of splendors. Thou art the giver, the bestower, the ever-loving. Thou art the pardoner, the tender, the most powerful.
نفس نفیسی که ملکوت شکوه صعود نمود و از خاکدان فانی به جهان جاودانی شتافت. میهمان جدید عزیز فرما، بنده قدیم خلعت بدی عطا کن. ای بیاموز و بنواز و به خلوتگاه راز راه ده و در محفل تجلی همدم و دمساز تویی دهنده و بخشنده و مهربان و تویی آمرزنده و نوازنده و توانا. اقبل بها عباس.
Reading from the High Writers.
to Baha'u'llah, they describe the way that Faya sought to live her life. Be generous in prosperity and thankful in adversity. Be worthy of the trust of thy neighbor, and look upon him with a bright and friendly face. Be a treasure to the poor, an admonisher to the rich, an answerer of the cry of the needy, a preserver of the sanctity of thy pledge. Be fair in thy judgment and guarded in thy speech. Be unjust to no man, and show all meekness to all men. Be as a lamp unto them that walk in darkness, a joy to the sorrowful, a sea for the thirsty, a haven for the distressed, an upholder and defender of the victim of oppression. Let integrity and uprightness distinguish all thine acts. Be a home to the stranger, a balm to the suffering, a tower of strength for the fugitive. Be eyes to the blind, and a guiding light unto the feet of the erring. Be an ornament to the countenance of truth, a crown to the brow of fidelity, a pillar of the temple of righteousness, a breath of life to the body of mankind, an ensign of the hosts of justice, a luminary above the horizon of virtue, a dew to the soil of the human heart, an ark on the ocean of knowledge, a sun in the heaven of bounty, a gem on the diadem of wisdom, a shining light in the firmament of thy generation, a fruit upon the tree of humility.
Friends, we're going to play a little piece of music. My cousin, which would be Joon's daughter, wrote something about a little piece of music about her grandma. And Pat, can you play that for us right now?
She wore pink like a crown on spring, smiling soft through everything. A heart so warm, a style so sweet. In every color, she felt complete. She loved the cats, the sun, the rain. Found joy in beauty, not in fame. And when I cried, she'd twirl around. Let's dance, she said, to lift the sound. She drove past 90, proud and bold, with stories dressed in threads of gold. The only one who rode with me. Drive faster, love, feel wild and free. Now skies wear pink, and I can
We gather here today to honor and celebrate the life of an extraordinary woman, Faya, a devoted mother, a dedicated member of the Baha'i faith, and a source of strength for all who knew her. Born on March 1st, 1926, in Ashgabat, Russia, once part of Iran, Faya was a member of an early Baha'i community in Ashgabat, where her father was instrumental in the establishment and construction of the first Baha'i house of worship. As a child, she participated in Baha'i children's activities in the house of worship, which formed the foundation for her love of the Baha'i faith. Her early life was also shaped by resilience. Shortly after losing her father at the tender age of 5, she and her family were uprooted when the Russian government deported Iranians, forcing them to start a new life in Mashhad, Iran. Even in the face of adversity, Faya carried herself with unwavering grace and determination. In Mashhad, Faya and her family had to go through a difficult transition of learning the Persian language and adjusting to a new culture. Faya continued her education until she met a young, handsome gentleman named Enayat. As was customary at the time, she married Enayat at a young age, and they had 3 beautiful daughters that became the focus of her life. In 1953, they moved to Tehran. Because Enayat frequently traveled for work, Faya committed herself to caring for her daughters. As her daughters grew older, Faya proved herself to be a visionary entrepreneur. She had a strong interest in fashion and clothing design, and often made exquisite dresses for her teenage daughters. This interest led her to establish the very first specialized boutique for children's clothing and essentials in Iran. Her boutique quickly became a success, reflecting her keen business sense and dedication. Soon after the revolution in Iran, Faya embarked on a new chapter to join her children in the US, moving first to Los Angeles and later to Las Vegas. Though she had faced numerous transitions in her life, she embraced change with courage and an adventurous spirit. She was a world traveler, eager to experience the richness of different cultures. From Brazil to India to Europe, including pilgrimage in the Baha'i Holy Land, she explored the world with curiosity and joy. Among her most meaningful journeys was her visit to her birthplace, Ashgabat, where she went with a group of Baha'i friends, including our dear friend Alida, an experience that deeply connected her to her roots. On May 13, 2025, Faya departed this world, leaving behind a legacy that will never be forgotten. She embodied a sense of style, and her life was filled with strength, ambition, and an abiding love for her family. Shada, Susan, and Yasemin, her cherished daughters, and 6 grandkids and 12 great-grandkids, carry forward her warmth and wisdom, embodying the values she instilled in them. Though she is no longer with us in body, her spirit remains alive in our hearts, in the lessons she imparted, and in the love she shared so generously. Let us honor her memory by living with the same resilience, curiosity, and kindness she exemplified. Rest in peace, dear Faya. You are deeply loved and will be remembered always.